Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Abracadabra, Create What You Speak, with Elon Azulay, only on LA Talk Radio.
שלום. הריני מקבל על עצמי את מצוות עשה של ואהבת לרעך כמוך. I hereby accept myself the due commandment of love your neighbor, your friend, your rabbi, in the same way that you express love to yourself. Here, no, sit here, just here. Sit here. Wonderful. So we're joined by our guest, and welcome. This is Abracadabra, Create What You Speak. I'm Elon Azulay, I'm your host, I'm your guide, and find a way to reclaim your power. I'm going to invite my guest here that I'm really happy to have here. Before that, I want to read something and then we'll play something. I'm going to read it in Hebrew first. גש ילדי, הסכת ושמע, בדם נכתב, יומן מסע, צעד צעד והפחד דוהה ונעלם, אומר לי, סע, צא לדרך, וכהלך, תעוף תמרי, תפרוס כנף, שא עיניך, כי עליך להכיר עולם חדש. זה עולם לפעמים לא מושלם, והעיקר שתהיה בעיניך יקר. אנשים ייכנסו ויצאו מלבך זכור, כי אתה מי שאתה. Come, sit and listen. Remember that this journey is filled with surprises, and the pages in which we read you from are covered with sweat and tears. Step after step, and fear dissipates and vanishes. And I can go, fly, and soar. Look at the horizon, because you are here to discover a new world. Sometimes it's an imperfect world, and it is for you to remember how precious you are to you. People will stroll in and out of your life, but remember, you are who you are. Don't forget that sweat and tears are in this journey of yours. Ups and downs are part of this journey. Everything is clear and known from above. No limitations of space and time. Go forward, fear not. And soon the veil will fall off your eyes, and you shall see that which you've forgotten. This is a song called The Journey by Adiel Bar-El. Wonderful creation.
בדם נכתב יומן מסע, צעד צעד והפחד דוהה ונעלם, אומר לי סע, צא לדרך וכהלך, תעוף תמריא, תפרוס כנף, שא עיניך כי עליך להכיר עולם חדש. זה עולם אנשים ייכנסו ויצאו נכתב יומן מסע, עליות ומורדות הן חלק מהדרך לפסגה מלמעלה, הכל מובן בלי מגבלות, מקום וזמן, לך קדימה אל תפחד, כך תגיע אל המטרה. זה עולם לפעמים לא מושלם, והעיקר שתהיה בעיניך יקר. אנשים ייכנס ויצאו מלבך, זכור כי אתה מי שאתה. זה עולם לפעמים לא מושלם, והעיקר שתהיה בעיניך יקר. אנשים ייכנסו ויצאו מלבך, אך זכור כי אתה מי שאתה.
Yeah, this was Adiel Bar-El, and the reason I play this particular song as a great, wonderful artist is because he is the son of my guest here, and want to welcome Rabbi Yehuda Parrots
Thanks.
again.
כן, תודה רבה. Thanks
Bavakasha.
for
There
the
you go.
invitation.
And I really have no meeting is coincidental, as we talk about it. Everything is really happening for a reason, and for the reason of the best and the perfectionism of your journey, how your journey is going. So everybody comes into our lives in the right time at the right moment, and the question is, what is the opportunity at everything? You know, it's instead of getting into the nit-grits of what the story level of what happened or this or that, which is like the Monopoly game, is like, what is the opportunity to grow? I wanted to talk about the song. Thank you for showing up. This is the second time that we're actually having the show. We had it last week, and I wanted to continue today, but today we're doing it in English. How are you feeling?
First of all, Baruch Hashem. Very,
Baruch Hashem.
very happy to be here.
Thank
I
God.
want to thank Hashem Yitbarach for the
Amen.
privilege to be here and for you to invite me.
Amen. Thank God.
I
Yeah.
will say maybe an idea, a concept that I think is very important to clarify, to give light to everybody. By the way, in parentheses, English is not my language, so if it's something incorrect, so forgive me.
No.
But anyway,
It's all good.
I want to give a small tool which is very powerful for everybody. Why we live the way we live, why we are like in the darkness, like something over here wrong, why it looks like wrong.
It looks like wrong.
Yeah, looks like. So I want to remind everybody, when Adam, the first human, Hashem created him, he was in the paradise. He did one mistake. He ate from the forbidden fruit. But after that, he committed another worse mistake. I ask usually people, and people don't pay attention. Usually, I ask what was the next mistake he did. What was usually people answer me?
Mhm.
You know what? It is?
What did they answer?
He blamed his wife because of what he did. But no, no, no. Before that, he did a worse mistake. He tried to hide himself from God,
Mhm.
and this mistake was so profound. And Hashem Yitbarach said to him, "How come you are Adam Arishon?" Now, for people who are familiar with our greatest people, we're not talking about Arav Ovadia, which was a
Mhm.
great tzaddik. We're not talking about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. We're talking about Adam Arishon, which was more great, more great than anybody else. And he hid himself from God. So Hashem said to him, "How come you did this mistake?" We have a concept, en od milevado, there is no place without Hashem.
Mhm.
So Hashem said to him, "You know what is going to be your punishment? I will hide myself from you 6,000 years. Because your work now, all humans, is to find Hashem. Every place, wherever you go, we must find God. Don't find the policeman, the wife, don't
Mhm,
blame
mhm,
nobody.
mhm.
Hashem is doing to you for good. We have to repair things."
Amen. That is true. That is true, and it is in every day. We will get to this more because it's really it's at the core of things. It's at the core of things, and for everybody who is listening, who is maybe connected in a different way and not in the same way that we see that or that you see that. So it is bringing to like this brings an interesting point, you know. So everybody looks at it a different way. Everybody comes to their understanding and their realization of things or breakthroughs through different ways. We say God, Hashem, you know, other people say different things, okay? Jews or non-Jews, it doesn't matter. They say different things. So it is how is God, or how is everything that we understand is here for us, how it manifests in the physical, in the day to day, because we are here, right? After all, we are here. We are in this dimension for whatever reason. It is whether we ate and we went down in the consciousness level and we went down and we are here now. So back to this example that you're talking about, the mistake, but everything is that nothing is a mistake, right? So it's kind of a pivotal.
So let's say correct.
Right. So it is.
It is in the decision of the free will. When we did what we did,
Okay.
will bring us into another opportunity to fix in a different level.
Exactly, but I don't see it as a punishment,
No,
as
no,
you
no,
mentioned.
No,
You see, I see this as an opportunity. Like we talked Thursday after the show. We continue to talk like there's an opportunity
So let's
in
say
every
about,
situation.
let's say about the concept of punishment. The punishment, it is not what sometimes people understand, like a fire and health and whatever. The punishment is a system that Hashem create, not as a purpose for
Mhm.
himself. The punishment is a system to bring any human into the purpose. In other words, depends how far away the person goes from the purpose, then the punishment is it's according to his
So it's
comprehension.
so for people that are not that are still or yet not connected in that level, in that, or
I
just
will-
maybe it's like a causality and effect.
Okay, so I will
Right.
say in a different way. When I talk to intellectual or to non-Jewish people, to anybody,
Yeah.
non-Jew, a Jew, Muslim, whatever, whoever,
Yeah.
everybody, we're humans. I always say to them, I present you what is the argument of the Jewish people, why we are here.
Hmm.
I will say in a short way. Our argument is, before I will tell the argument quickly, I have to ask everybody. When I have a need and I fulfill the need, then pleasure born.
Hmm.
But if I eat constantly or any other pleasure, if I take it constantly, it's going to become the opposite of the pleasure, because you are eating, for example, food constantly or drinking or other pleasure, whatever you want, any pleasure.
Hmm.
If you do it constantly,
Hmm.
no more pleasure. Becomes the opposite.
Because it
becomes the opposite.
yeah.
Listen carefully.
Hmm.
Now, before we came to this reality, think about the reality of where you are with Hashem, with God,
Hmm.
and He loves us, but it's infinitive love without limit. That means what? think about a reality of where you are receiving constantly, simultaneously, everything together, always. You have food instantaneously, constantly. You have you to drink constantly. God is giving us
Mhm.
constantly because He loves us.
Yeah.
The question will be, you can enjoy anything in that dimension? No, because in order to enjoy it, we need the space of the need, and only when you fulfill the need, born the pleasure.
Mm.
Therefore, we are here because we were in a different dimension when God is our Father and He loves us, and He's giving us constantly for free, always. He is all mine. He can do anything for everybody.
So,
So
yeah.
because of it, we came to this reality because we ask not to. We didn't want to receive for free. The soul, the spirit of all of the humans, we didn't want to be in a place where everything is for free. Think about the reality of it. You receive everything for free. All these countries yours, everything is for free. You can eat as much as you want. You can
Mhm.
sleep as much as you want. You can any minimum desire.
But that how originally it would have been,
No, no, no.
unless
No, 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 no,
unless you ate and you
no,
come down to work
no,
everything.
no. This was
This was the original.
the original.
Yeah, that's what I said. This was the original intention of the creation, for us to receive and for us to give back, right? And to become in the image and to be a giver.
this-
But when we came down,
Then when after no, I mentioned first before we were here
yeah.
where we were.
Mm.
We was
Mm.
in a different dimension.
That's right. Yeah.
Another why I said this because I want people to understand that this is a privilege to be here. All of us we ask to come to this territory of the place where we are missing something and we want to work for it. We have to fulfill. Therefore, we have the negative impulse who takes us to the negative way, for order to force ourselves with, in case there are values
Mm.
that we have to prove that there are absolute values or purpose in this life.
Mm.
And then when we invest, when it costs for us, then we are doing something by our own, then we can receive a reward for it. Otherwise, everything for free. We used to receive
We used to
everything for
receive
free.
it. Yeah.
We don't want that.
Yeah.
So we have to understand that this is an opportunity. It's a privilege to be here. It's not now. When we say the punishment, it's a system that God created this concept, this system, for a person to bring him into the
Into the light back.
into the
Ba-
correct
ba-
route. Why? Because
route.
by the way, very important to say, before we came to this reality, our Father God didn't want us to come to this territory because He loved us constantly, but we didn't want to eat for free. So we, the soul, asked to come to this reality. But God says, no, you're going to forgive me sometimes. You're going to forget about me. You're going to go away. You're going to miss.
But
make a mistake.
isn't that the intention, to forget and to remember
Wait,
with our
you're
own?
mixing concepts. If you listen till the end, you will see the idea.
Okay.
Simple.
All right.
God didn't want us to come over here again because He loves us constantly. He's our Father. But the soul didn't want to receive for free.
Mhm.
So we asked to come to this reality. And God didn't want, and He said to us, no, you're going to forget me. So the soul asked the Father, if this happened, if God forbid, and I would forget you when I am here, punish me, return me into the path.
Mm.
And this is why we are here, the way we are here.
Mhm.
Like you know the astronaut, the first astronaut, when they went out to the space, they came back like sick because they didn't have the gravity. So
Yeah.
the muscles got the body
Yeah.
problem. And then they have to study the situation, and then they realize that they must do exercise, but there is no place where to pick up weights because there is
Because there's no way.
gravitation. So they had to teach them to, how to.
I think they did it with water. Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever.
The muscle has to be in the
Yes.
movement.
Yes.
In other words, for to exist, the body you need the negative,
Mhm.
the gravitation, the
Mhm.
power against you. The same body for to exist in this reality, we need the opposite. The same the soul. We need the opposite impulse in order for us to fight for it, to force. Yeah, it's maybe
Yeah, and through the material, and through actually the material, if you call it punishment or suffering, where it's actually through the material, through the physical experience, we are elevating our.
By the way, punishment or suffering is because we are ignorant. We suffer only in our mind.
Yeah, it's choice, right?
Again,
That's true.
Punishment or suffering is because we are ignorant. We suffer in our incomprehension.
Hmm.
Because when we don't know the purpose of whatever happened in that moment to us, we can translate.
Yes,
We
right.
can translate. I am suffering,
That's right.
but who says you are suffering?
That's
You
right.
want to suffer.
That's
And
right.
somebody came over to me. He says to me, "Hey, I have a reason to be upset." I said to him, "Be honest. You have no reason to be upset.
Yeah.
Because if you are talking about reason, be honest. And what? You have billions of reasons to be happy.
Hmm.
In the same moment you want to be upset, it's because you want to be upset. Because in the same moment, go to the hospital to see people cannot even breathe
That's true.
constantly.
That's true.
So reasons, we have more reasons to be happy.
I want to to introduce. I'm sitting with me, Rabbi Yehuda Parrots. First of all, the phone number here is 323-203-0815. 323-203-0815. Rabbi Yehuda Parrots actually was born Catholic, Mexico, and his father was a priest, and he was. This is the big story, right? And was trained into priesthood. And then he decided that he's going to read the Bible or the Torah actually in its original form. So that is quite a jump. It's really taking a nucleus and changing it in its core. You know, it's shifting from everything. So I know we talked about this a little bit, but I want to talk about this again. And I really wanted to ask you some stuff about what you do. I've seen some of your art, some of the work that you do that is a gift from God to be able to, you write, so first time you write Torah books, Torah scrolls, right?
Yes.
You write Torah scrolls and you write prayers and sacred words from Kabbalah, the way that you use them to as a kamea, as a symbol, as a
We say kamea, we say in English.
it's not a charm. It's
No.
not like it's a
Emulate.
Exactly.
Emulate.
So
In Spanish, amuleto.
amuleto.
And in English, emulate. Something like this, emulate.
Okay, and one of the beautiful work. I've seen some of the work. I've seen some of what you had, and it's really beautiful. So, yeah, ¿qué pasa? Yeah, so you're here. So this is like,
I'm very excited to be here. Listen,
how?
I'm
Yeah.
trying to just tell myself and everybody, let's be more less sophisticated. We mix up ourselves. We maybe probably because of the name of this program was Abracadabra. Probably for sure you mentioned these ideas before, but I want to tell
Yeah.
you my own journey. I was born in Veracruz, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
That purposely in the place where I was born, Veracruz is the principal port in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
We have once a year, people who deal with magic, they get together over there once a year.
Okay.
A place called Catemaco.
Okay.
It's people who take the kishuf.
Yes. Magic, black magic.
Black
or-
magic.
Yeah.
So I was there and I was young and I wanted to study. So they used to say abracadabra. I take one idea on it from there.
Yeah.
Now, I moved to Israel many years ago. I had the privilege to convert. It's a long journey for another time to explain why. But I became, one of the things I do art. I'm a scribe, calligraphy Judith. And I write
Jewish calligraphy.
Jewish calligraphy, yeah.
Yeah.
So I write many holy works, and many times I am not allowed to write the name of God, Yud Kei Vav Kei, the Tetragrammaton,
Mm-hmm.
because respecting the name. So we write a hey, idea, one letter who represent the name of God. And I was sitting once with myself. I said, "Oh, wow! So we used to say something when I say Abracadabra. We're saying Ha, which is the name of God, the hey idea, Ha,
Mm-hmm.
God, Bara, which means create. God create. How He create? Kadabra, kedibur. I said, no, I must sit with myself and study to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
How come? Yeah, it's Hebrew. Habra, Boreolam, Bara, God create. Kadabra, kedibur. Now, how you say reality in Hebrew?
Metziut.
Metziut. But in Hebrew, well, people who know Hebrew will enjoy it
Well,
more.
by the way, abracadabra is in Aramaic.
Yeah,
It says Evra.
yeah.
I shall create what
Yeah.
as I speak, and this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
why. Yeah, but you found a different.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
So we say metziut. Reality in Hebrew, reality you say metziut. But for the people who speak Hebrew, they will enjoy it more because you are saying something. Reality is not what is out of you.
Mm-hmm.
This is called epistemologia veontologia. Two wisdom. One deal with things which the outside is the way you will perceive.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore in Hebrew, reality you say metziut because you are saying motziot.
Mm-hmm.
When you speak about
Speak a word, a
a
letter.
word, a letter,
Mm-hmm.
then you create your own reality. God put us in this world in order to expect from us, waiting for us, how you will like to call reality. Because in the same way, you know what? I invented I was saying a king love his son. His son is, upset with a big negative face. And the tati, his father is a king. He has wealth, he's very rich. He wants his son to be happy. You know what he did? He brought the best painter to paint a beautiful, how you say, yard? Forest.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, like a natural. And the son even didn't pick up his eyes to see he was upset. The king says, you know what? I love my son. I will bring all the painters in order to make like a movie. Every paint is moving and it's going to make it appear like if it's real.
Like if it's okay.
Because he wants to make his son happy. No, he didn't even pick his eyes. He's upset. The father says, you know what? I love my son. You know what I'm going to do? I will bring all the science and all the technology and all the computers. I will try to make these pictures, this paint, into three-dimensional, like alive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he did, the king. And he invests so much, billions of dollars, until to try to make it real. These flowers, and the child didn't even pick up his eyes. You know what I'm talking about, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You know how much investing God is giving us to see the trees and everything anyway, and we don't even pick up our eyes. We are sometimes upset for no reason.
So here is a question. You told me you told me after the radio program, you told me that when people come to you and try to impose something on you or to say something that is not based on what you think or what you believe, you're just like la 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 la, right? You're just blocking what doesn't serve you. You're blocking what doesn't serve you. You block away from you. If somebody comes and says something negative, you block it away.
Okay.
So. But when external influences, when we meet an external influence can be somebody at work, could be even the person in front of us, right? A relationship, any person that is in front of us, that many times is a reflection of where we are. So the person. So how do you distinct between an influence that is you meet somebody that influences is good for you, like when will you listen and when will you not? What is your parameters?
Okay, so for it, before we have to explain before something more important. If we understand that in our free will, we can create our own aura.
Mm-hmm.
Judaism is not to talk. All the wisdom, mathematics, philosophy, or chemic, or biology, or whatever, when the teacher teach, for example, the mathematics, he doesn't have to have triangular face because what he's going to teach it's not something personal.
Yeah.
Besides Judaism is to perform, to swallow, to do it. So if something is true, if Judaism is the true case, if Judaism is the only correct way to live, so the person has to understand that we create our own reality and we have an aura who can protect us and we concord others. In other words, even if a negative person wants to come into my territory, which is like 2 meters above, if I am really behaving correct and knowing all these secrets, even if a negative person wants to come to my area, he will transform himself into a good person when he's in my territory because I concord my area. In other words, people didn't know sometimes. Therefore, negative people can come into their life. Why? Because to show who you are in that moment. In other words, if it's any negative person close to you, it is because you have negativism in yourself.
Same thing the other way, yeah, and same thing the other wise, and the other way around, the same thing.
That what?
Well, good or positive.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
And therefore, if you want to know the secret of living better and good and correct, and to transforming others. You have to concord first yourself.
Yeah.
We cannot concord outside nobody if you don't concord yourself, meaning control your emotions,
Yeah.
control your behave, control the main issue that I cannot say in the public, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. If a man is the owner of that part of his body, he control that part of his body, then he's a king. If he's not there, then
Well, you know,
anything move him away, and then everything can happen to him, and then he is with frustration. Why? Because he didn't know that he can be the king of himself. How? Controlling myself. This we have to
yeah,
study
yes,
out.
yes, yes.
Not controlling.
Well,
It's a process.
well, you know, many women are also listening, and usually the sentence is, and usually the intention and the work is that in the house, a man is a king because he makes his queen a queen.
Of course, this is supposed to be the purpose. A man supposed to understand that our purpose as a male is to convert her into queen, but you know the secret is? I have to tell you the secret.
Tell me, tell me.
It is simple. For it, we need to be hours and hours because people are not going to understand me. Believe me, I know, I have experience. By the way, I also didn't know. I make my mistakes in my life, all my life, because I didn't know. This is small information. Again, it's very simple. But if anybody will understand me and use it and transform their life, everything is going to change in the married life. The main issue, the main problem, the main reason we are suffering in the married life, this I can include almost everybody, okay? It is because the men didn't know that the biggest pleasure of men, it is only when we become always and only a giver and never a receiver.
Mhm.
Again, this idea is not clear for sure. People don't understand what I meant to say.
Some people may do.
No, if I don't explain, it's not going to be clear.
Okay. Explain. Yeah, that's why we're here.
For example, if I say always to be a giver means that when I come to ask, or when I am expecting, or when I have a frustration, for example, it is because I was expecting. I was not a
Mhm.
giving, I was a receiver. Many, almost everybody, does good to others, to our wife, because subconscious we are not giving, we are expecting.
Hmm.
The purpose was not to give. Frustration comes from this simple concept. We didn't know we are coming only to give. If the wife doesn't cook, if it was, many people getting married because they think they married to a servant.
Hmm.
No, you marry a woman because a woman is yourself in a female. It's not your wife. People say it's my wife, and behind this idea is my servant. She has to give me. She has to also give me things.
Well, that's some. Yeah, that's some.
No, not some. Almost everybody.
A lot.
This is almost everybody. Be honest.
You know?
We understand subconscious that we are equal. That she has to do things for me also. No, it's a mistake. She don't have to do nothing for you. She's only there for you to give her. If you don't want to make a mistake in married life, you must understand what I'm
you
saying.
just give.
But I have to explain. Eh?
Yeah, and I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. It's like when your wife is right, she's right, and also when she's wrong, she's right.
There's for example,
I
if
got
you ask me now, you say, "Come on, how come I am only a giver? My wife cooks for me. She's giving me." So therefore, again, I have to give more information because this is it's not clear. So the person asked me, so she's cooking for me. So I am a receiver. No, because not every give is to give, and not every take is to take. For example, I am full. I just finished eating. I go to my friend's house, and his mother give me food. Achnasat orchim, the mitzvah, the present of, they always give food.
Yeah.
Now, but I am full. Yeah, but if I don't eat, she's going to get offended probably. So if I eat, my intention was to give her the privilege to perform a commandment. Because the give and to take is in our intention. And not every take is to take. For example, I am giving an example in a place, every guy will give charity, and was a rich guy, very stingy. He didn't want to give charity, but he saw everybody's giving, so he also took money out of his pocket and he gave to the poor. He didn't give.
But he gave because he didn't feel.
He didn't give. He
felt
didn't
ashamed.
want to feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because again, not every give is to give, and not every take is to take. To give and to take depends in the intention. Therefore, when your wife cooks for you, you have to understand she didn't give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
The reason she did is because she wants first to be connected to you, but in order to transform this, like looks like a gift, it was not a gift. You must understand that the reason she gave to you, she cooked for you, it is because she's expecting from you to tell her how delicious was the food, and be very honest when you said that, okay? You must understand they breathe the life of a woman. We kill women. I am telling you about even myself. I don't understand what I'm going to tell you because what it means. We don't understand that what give woman's or wife life is when you talk to them, when you appreciate,
Absolutely.
when you talk every day and you call her every day and you make sure that she knows in her mind, you make sure that she knows that she's the most beautiful woman for you.
And the only.
She's the only woman for you, and you have no eyes for nobody. When she knows this, conscience and subconscious, then you have a good married life. If you don't make sure that she has to know, conscience and subconscious, wherever you go, that she's the only one for you, she's the most pretty woman for you, you must make sure this on her. And if
Yeah.
you don't work on it, you will pay for it because you didn't know. This is the biggest give. You are only a giver. You want a really
Yeah.
correct life, married life?
Yeah.
No other way. Don't expect. I'm going to insinuate because I'm not allowed to talk openly. But also when we get to that act, most of the people came into this act to enjoy, not to give.
That's true. Yeah.
And therefore, we have all these kind of strange people. Oh, over 100 definitions of a human. No, listen carefully. You didn't listen to the idea. Today, the reason we have more than 100 definitions of a human. Long ago, we used to be male and female. Today, we have all kind of definitions. And the reason was because subconscious didn't know all these generations. We lost this beautiful and simple and profound concept of being only a giver. And most of the men were getting, when we procreate, like a males, and therefore women don't want to be with us. Subconscious, they feel they are living with a male, not with a female. We get to the procreation act like a females because we want to enjoy it. We want to receive from her.
I get it, but all this, and the thing is, it's not just. I don't think that women only are not with men because they feel that they're with females, but also if we're looking at the practical level of what happens for thousands of years, that there was from fear, I believe, that the domination of men over women, and I'm not, not everywhere, but for the most part, for thousands of years, the patriarchy that is saying ta 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 ta, and it comes from fear. It comes from fear.
You know in Hebrew, you know Hebrew. You know what Adoni? Adoni in Hebrew is like the honor.
Yeah, my master, like Adon,
Like
yeah,
Adon.
yeah.
My master, the honor. In Hebrew is so beautiful. Hebrew is the holy language.
It's beautiful
Now,
language.
the
yeah.
window, the window in Hebrew, chalon.
Chalon.
You have a mashkov, this part and this part called
the
mashkov.
the frame, yeah.
But not only the frame. This part and this part is the mashkov, the frame.
Yeah.
How you call the under part of the window in Hebrew? Eden.
Eden החלון,
Listen the secret.
Eden.
Again, the part which is under the window,
Eden.
in Hebrew you call Eden. Eden comes from the word of Adoni. Adoni comes from the word of Eden. That means what? A secret. If you want to be the boss in your home, the Jewish concept of being the owner of your home, the male, the king, is when all the way is on top of you and you are
The
emulate.
Eden. You are the Eden.
You are emulate. You don't scream. You government your home, nobody scream because you're smart. You know that everything depends on you because you are the boss. But for it, you have to understand how to behave. When you understand what Judaism is, the ideas that we do have in this holy language, then you don't make mistakes. But people don't know. People are innocent.
This is wonderful. I really love this allegory. I love allegories.
No, this is not allegory. This is the language will teach us how to behave.
No. But when we talk about the description of the window, when we talk about the side of the window, and the idea of that the bottom part of the window, which is Eden, you put when you come out to the window, what do? You lay on the Eden. You are kind of looking outside. You're putting all your weight. You're putting everything on you.
This is supposed to be the man for his wife. Another example, very important and simple. I ask. Sometimes happen to you in the corner in the traffic light. There is a red light. You stop. Now sometimes you stop and you look at the car next to you and you don't know which one is moving. Or you are moving, your car is moving, or the car next to you is moving. Happen to you something? something like this. It usually happen to many people.
Yeah.
You stop.
So somebody's
traffic
moving.
light.
Okay. I don't know if he's moving. I'm moving. All right.
Okay, but what you do in order to confirm that you're not moving, either you press the brake
Mhm.
or you look into if there is any like a tree next to you, and then you confirm that your car is not moving.
Okay.
Why I said this idea?
Why?
Because if also this big mistake of all the men's simple but very profound idea that the purpose of a man is to be always constantly controlling your emotions, because your wife always, because of her process physical
Mhm.
way of a woman, they have moving always, because again from the period that they have, so emotionally they're always moving, and the subconscious are screaming, my husband, I move because I have a period, but you don't move, please, I depend on you. And therefore when we are doing good to our women, and a minute after, like, she changed, you say, how come I am doing good to her, and now
Well,
she's
because he doesn't understand the language of what you're
oh
saying.
no, this is what it looks like. But the reason was not that. It's because physically she has the period, and we supposed to be always constantly understanding that we are not moving our sentiments. We are the same. We are not getting influence from them. We influence them. They don't influence us.
That's true, but and it's not but and if we look at this from the umbrella level, yes, we are great, but many people are not living in this, and it's important to talk about this, but also to go down to the granular level of understanding a language, understanding of how somebody thinks, or not just that, how you as a man or a woman talks. It's different.
This will happen. This will you understand. In case this will happen finally. Why until I said this idea doesn't happen? They are smart. People are smart on the street. Many intellectual people. How come they divorce? How come they fight? Because they don't comprehend each other. Why? I'm saying the secret. Because subconscious, the problem is that if they didn't know this small information, that the man, you must understand, your work is to be constantly holding your emotions, be constantly. And then you can understand your wife. The language that we talk, as you say, is different. Yeah, but how come they didn't solve the situation of the problem? Because the men continue behaving like a woman. When we don't control our emotions, we are a receiver. Because we want.
So for thousands of years of controlling women, that was acting like a woman.
We never control women.
Well, I mean, there was the attempt for thousands. I mean, look, I mean,
because we didn't know how. In order to control,
it was fear. So it was fear that we were afraid of the woman.
No, how you went to fear, but I don't know how.
No, I'm saying, I mean, why does somebody want to control somebody to put them down?
No, we don't have to control again. We don't have to control them.
That's true.
Only when we control ourselves, automatically we can have probably the right for our women to listen to us. We don't have to scream. We have to control ourselves. Only when we control our emotions, then you are allowed probably to influence others to come to your territory and to show them how to behave correct. We don't have to control nobody. We have to control ourselves, and the control others is going to be as a consequence for the behavior of correct behave, because we understand reality correct.
No, I agree with you. But up until now, all this control and all this.
This was not a control.
This was not a control.
This was, they've tried to force, because the person feel he's a king and nobody listen to them. Then they want to force reality. Instead of understanding how to do it, you cannot control others if you don't control yourself. To control others, I would say, this is going to be as a result of your control or control. And in your home, as you the man, like the father, like the king, only will be a king somebody who control himself, and then the kids will feel the father has self-control.
Did you have this? I know that you have had and you have deep spiritual experiences. Did you have this when you decided to move camps, so to speak?
If I have what?
If you had this understanding at that time.
No. I was a Mexicano. In Mexico, they teach I am the boss and you are nobody. I mean, I am the boss and you listen to me and you do what you know why? Because I bring money. I bring money. My wife has to listen to me.
So you think that by bringing money that makes you the boss?
Therefore, I want to say something. So I said to everybody who said to me, "Hey, I'm the boss. I am bring money. I support my wife." I said, "Listen, calm down. and let's be honest and confirm what are you doing really. So be honest. Tell me, your heart, you don't create your heart, your mind, your all your members of your body, you don't do nothing for it. Somebody is doing for you. So until then, we are that you didn't do nothing. Continue. To breathe, somebody permit you to breathe. So you don't do nothing. Somebody permit you to breathe. Customers, be honest. Always a miracle. Somebody brings the customers. Everything Hashem, God gives you, even the thought, even to talk. You know what? Even to talk, you don't know how to talk. Nobody can come now over to me and say to me, I know how to talk. Don't lie. You don't know how to talk. Because if you think you know how to talk, tell me the techniques, how you create the ABC. No, be honest. God permit you to talk. So what you did until now, nothing. You know what you do? Men's, we do only one thing. We are stubborn. We make only troubles. We don't do
That's
nothing.
true.
So you don't tell
That's
me you
true.
bring money to your wife. You don't bring nothing. God permits you to do everything. So when you understand that you don't really do nothing, so then calm down. Balance yourself. Of course, we want to be kings. For it, you can never be a king and conquer nobody if you don't conquer yourself. Hold, study how to control yourself.
Amen. Amen. This is a daily work. I want to talk about your son. We
Okay.
listened to his song earlier.
Adiel.
Adiel. How does? By the way, how many kids do you have?
I have, Baruch, thank God, I have 7 children.
7 kids. Oh, Baruch
He's my
Hashem. Wow.
firstborn. He's 29.
And they're all after you became Jewish.
Yeah.
All
I
of them.
converted when I was 20, and when I was 24.
Do you have kids from before?
No.
No.
I was 20. I was a baseball player, by the way. I was
A baseball player.
Yeah, thank God I was pitcher and ambidextrous.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I work with 2 hands. Many things I do with 2 hands. And I was playing in Mexico. Thank God, Baruch Hashem. But God has different projects in my life, and He permitted me to open my horizon and to study and to learn. And then I came to Israel, and then I got married 4 years after I convert. And then I formed my family with a Jewish woman, Israeli. She's
Did you meet her in Israel?
Yeah, she's from the straight line of King David. So
Wow.
very big privilege for me. I have 7 great children. I have 5 grand children already.
Are they in contact with your real dad?
Family in
Your
my-
family in Mexico?
True that we convert my 9 brothers.
Uh-huh.
My mother convert.
Really? To
yeah.
all Judaism?
Yes,
9 brothers. All 9 brothers
yeah.
converted.
We moved to Israel, Baruch Hashem.
Wow.
This
Baruch
was not
Hashem.
today. This was already
How many years?
35 years ago.
35 years.
Yeah.
If today it would be acceptable, back then it definitely wasn't, right? I mean, it was very,
it was very difficult.
very harsh, very
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah, that's what I said to everybody today. It's more easy today than before. When I came to the Jewish nation, it was almost impossible.
That is quite a.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. Believe me, God bless me always. I say like this. In my 20, God permitted me to do something that I don't believe today. How come I had the divine providence to do what I did? When I converted, I was 20. And because I belongs to a Christian community, they wanted to know why. And I went down. We're not allowed to do proselytism, but I went down to my city. Anyway, in short way, almost all the community convert. By then, I was 20. I was flying Israel, New York, Mexico, because I was working in New York to buy tickets for my friends to get them to Israel. They didn't have the money.
I see.
So when I was in my 20 until my 24, I spent 4 years helping the community to move. I had to go to Mexico to help them in Israel, to convert in Israel, to set them a place where to be, to study in yeshiva. Took me 4 years of my life. Today, when I observe, I say, how come I did something so great? I want to say a secret. Many people help only when they will have the time to do that. In my 20, many people, what they will do? They will go to study university, they will go to work, and then they will say, I will help when I will have the possibility to do it. I didn't do that. I did it. I help when it's necessary. In this moment, I did it. You know what it is today? You know how many families I have the privilege to help them and to form their present, and all these grandchildren and people who are studying 35 years Torah every day. You know what is it? The currents, people are making dollars, $1 million, or they have houses over here, but they don't understand that this currents, dollars or euro, when we passed away, has no value over there.
No value.
They will ask you for a different currency, which is merits. If you did merits, if you did
good
mitzvot,
deeds,
if you did things, then this is what you're taking. So I say, I built up real estate, not over here, to help people to transform their life for a better life. Is something that Wow.
This is wonderful, and there's so many things that we didn't talk about, and we're out we're
Out of time.
I mean, I'm telling you, we can have a conversation here, and uh, guys, yeah,
Let's be
this
happy. Let's be happy and proud of
happy
who
all the
we are.
time, and thank God for every day and every hour and everything that happens at all times, and the things that when we do hit potholes, like you drive on the street, you drive on the road, you're driving on the road, and there is a pothole, you hit a pothole, it is a this is where I heard Rabbi Sachs was talking about this. He was talking that when doubt happens, actually it is a signal. It is a signal from God, a signal from you have a choice. This is a choice. This is an opportunity. What are we going to choose? Are you going to choose this, or are you going to choose that? Are you going to choose this, which repeats what happened all the time, or are you going to choose that, which is something maybe that you don't know, right? Because I believe that, you know, I
To
heard-
remind that what we have to
It's-
choose is only one thing. Don't confuse. I will say to everybody in public and everybody, what we have to choose is simple. God says only one thing. Choose to find me and to say everything okay. God says, please, I brought you to this reality because what will happen to you is what you destroyed in your previous life.
Yeah.
Anything will happen is what you did to others. If somebody take money from you, is what you did to him in the previous life. You're coming to fix.
So this is something I wanted to talk to you also about, because I was reading about Michael Newton, who was I studied him for many years. He started from hypnotherapist, and then he eventually came to past life regressions.
Okay.
And so anyway, this is a whole different thing about choosing, because we actually do choose to come here specifically because
As an
of
opportunity to
as an
correct.
opportunity to correct, to elevate our spiritual. We're out of time. Last thing, if you can share, people are listening, and not everybody is in the same place, and I believe that we talk to them, bring them talking in the language of everybody that
Okay.
can understand. Last thing that can encourage
Everybody.
where everybody is listening.
Okay. So I will give you my own journey
2
and
minutes.
simplify why I convert to Judaism. Again, it's personal.
Yes,
People
yes,
don't have to
please,
convert.
please.
So I always say, and I will include in this idea why we have so many religions, why we have political ideas, why so many ideas. So I say, whenever I talk to an intellectual, to atheist, I say to him, listen, very simple. Either there is a God, or either there is a creator, or there is nothing. I am flexible. I don't mind. Let's say there is no creator. But if you say that, to be honest, you have no right to be upset at nobody, because values are ideas. When you want to say my son is bad, you must make sure that you know what is to be good. And because it's a metaphysical idea, and if there is no creator, so you have to make up your definition. But you make up your definition, that means you invent an illusion. You can never come and say to somebody, he's wrong. Excuse me, how you know what is to be right? So no creator, no problem. The consequence automatically, everything has the right to do whatever they want, because everybody will invent their own definition.
Mm.
He said to me, I don't understand. I don't need God in order to agree. Everybody agree not to kill. This is a universal value. Everybody agree not to kill. I said to him, okay, you didn't let me finish. Okay, so I jump with you. So, okay, so let's say a round table, everybody is there. All the representatives of all the religions and all the political ideas. And we put in the middle, not to kill. And is sitting next to me a woman who did abortion, and I asked her, excuse me, you said not to kill. She said to me, oh, I understand. Yeah, we're not allowed to kill, but what I did with my body is something that I'm allowed to do with my body because it's my body. Beautiful. And there's always people are going to invent their own definitions. And again, not to kill is a metaphysic idea.
Yeah.
Values are metaphysic ideas. So the argument of the Jewish nation, that when we talk about the concept of God revealed himself in Mount Sinai, which is a fact for Christians and Muslims, because the New Testament of Islam is based in the ideas of Judaism, of course, it must be true for them anyway. So when we talk about the revelation of God in Mount Sinai, we're talking about God is giving not only the writing book, which is the Torah, and where there is no one commandment that you can understand if you read the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about reward and punishment. Okay, so I finished saying, therefore, the argument is that God give also the explanation of the writing Bible and all the details on how to apply values. And the only nation who has the argument and who received it in Mount Sinai was the Jewish people, how to, all the details. I need details in order to apply any commandment. I want to live correct. I don't want to live with an illusion anymore. This is what I convert, because I want to live knowing that
It's
either
true.
you live correct or either you live with an illusion. I decide not to live in an illusion. I want to first find out if there is a way correctly to live. I want
Thank
to
you.
bless everybody. I'm sorry that I took your time.
No,
But
that's why you're
I
here.
love
to take our
everybody.
time.
I'm sorry if I offend. Maybe I don't want to offend, but I just want to say to everybody, let's be honest. Let's search for the truth, and we will get that, all of us together soon, in the good way. with
Amen.
Hashem.
Amen. Toda rabba. Thank you very much. Thank you for the reminder, for the daily reminder of the precious, the diamonds that we are, that you are, that each one of us is. See you next week. Have a wonderful week. Thank you, Rabbi Yehuda Parrots. Thank you for the music. And don't live dreams of others. Idan Reichel.
שנים כולם בורחים, שנים כולם חוזרים, עוטפים אחרי השמש, שבויים בתוך מעגלים, כולם מסובכים, אז מה את עוד חולמת? שנים הם מסתירים, שנים כולם יודעים.
Abracadabra. Create what you speak with Elon Azulay.